6 Stoic Lessons from Seneca for Mastering Mental Toughness. Can you thrive in life's chaos? What if the secret to not just surviving, but thriving, when life throws you into a whirlwind isn't about fighting harder or running faster, but about stepping back, taking a deep breath, and finding your center? Picture this: you're hit with a job loss that slams into you like a rogue wave, leaving you gasping for air. Or maybe a relationship you poured your heart into crumbles like sand through your fingers, slipping away despite your grip. Perhaps it's the daily grind, a relentless marathon of deadlines, errands, and expectations that feels like a race you can't win. In moments like these, it's so easy to feel lost, overwhelmed, like you're sinking into quicksand with no lifeline to grab. But what if I told you there's a way to stand tall in that storm, to find unshakable strength and a quiet peace no matter what chaos comes your way? Welcome to a journey into the mind of Seneca, an ancient philosopher who turned life's messiest moments into a canvas for calm. His Stoic wisdom has been a guiding light for leaders, thinkers, and everyday people for centuries, helping them rise above turmoil with clarity and grit. Today, we're cracking open a treasure chest of practical tools drawn from Stoicism, strategies that aren't just dusty old theories, but living, breathing ways to master your emotions, sharpen your focus, and build a life that doesn't just bend under pressure, but grows stronger because of it. We're talking about facing life's toughest punches, whether it's a stinging setback at work or a personal crisis that shakes you to your core, with a heart that stays steady and a mind that stays clear. This isn't about running from reality or pretending everything's fine. It's about owning your story, turning every challenge into a stepping stone toward a life that feels meaningful, grounded, and yours. If you've ever felt buried under the noise of life, the endless notifications, the pressure to keep up, or wondered how to stay cool when everything's falling apart, this video is your roadmap. We're diving deep into how Seneca's ancient secrets can reshape your modern world, from helping you focus in a distracted age to finding peace in moments of solitude. So, grab a comfy spot, take a deep breath, and let's dive in together. Don't skip ahead. Stick with me through every moment, because you're not like the crowd rushing through life, always chasing the next thing. You're here for something deeper, something real, and that makes you special. Hit that subscribe button if you vibe with this journey. It's a free way to keep this content flowing for you and others hungry for growth. Let's uncover how Stoicism can help you not just endure life's storms, but shine brighter because of them, no matter what comes your way. Ready? Let's get started. Laser focus in a distracted world. Let's kick things off with a question that might hit close to home. Ever feel like you're juggling a dozen balls at once, arms flailing, only to watch every single one crash to the ground? That's the modern trap we've all fallen into. The myth that we can do it all at once. Work emails piling up, family texts demanding a reply, social media tempting you with an endless scroll. It's a circus act, and we're the clowns, trying to keep everything in the air while barely holding it together. But what if there's a better way, a way to cut through the chaos and find clarity? Seneca, that wise old philosopher from ancient Rome, dropped a truth bomb that still echoes today. If you're everywhere, you're nowhere. It's a wake-up call, a sharp nudge to stop spreading yourself thin and instead zero in on one thing at a time. For the Stoics, this kind of focus wasn't just a productivity hack. It was a cornerstone of living with purpose, a way to anchor yourself in a world that's always pulling you in 100 directions. Let's paint a picture. You're at your desk, diving into a big project, maybe a report that could make or break your next career move. Your laptop screen is glowing with data, but your phone's buzzing like an angry bee, notifications popping up with texts, emails, that one friend's new post you just have to see. Your brain feels like it's being stretched like taffy, torn between the task and the noise. Now, imagine a different choice. You silence the phone, turn it face down, and let yourself sink fully into the project. The world fades, and it's just you and the work, your thoughts flowing like a steady river. Marcus Aurelius, another Stoic heavyweight who ruled an empire while facing wars and plagues, would be nodding in approval. He urged us to treat every minute like a Roman soldier on a mission, fully committed, with precise focus, seriousness, and a sense of justice, letting go of every distraction that doesn't serve the moment. When you pour all your energy into one thing, whether it's that work deadline, a creative hobby, or even a heart-to-heart conversation with a friend, you're not just getting it done. You're doing it with depth, with care, like an artist crafting a masterpiece instead of a kid slapping together a messy finger painting. This kind of deep focus isn't just about checking boxes. It works wonders on your mind and soul. For one, it slashes stress like a sword through fog. When your brain isn't scrambling to juggle 10 things, it can breathe, think, and create with clarity. Your decisions sharpen because you're not second-guessing while half-listening to a podcast. And that feeling of accomplishment when you finish. It's like hitting a grand slam in the bottom of the ninth. Pure, unfiltered satisfaction. Ancient thinkers like Plato might say this singular focus lets you tap into something higher, a kind of beauty and truth in your work, because you're giving it your absolute best, untainted by distraction. Aristotle would call it a path to temperance, the strength to resist the siren call of every ping and buzz, building self-control as a virtue. Even Socrates, with his relentless laser-focused dialogues that dug into one idea until it sparkled with clarity, showed how diving deep into a single pursuit can unlock brilliance you didn't know you had. Let's make it real for you. Tomorrow, pick one task. Maybe it's writing an email, cooking dinner, or playing with your kids, and give it your all. Turn off the noise, silence the notifications, and be fully there. Watch how it transforms your day, how you feel lighter, more in control, like you're finally the captain steering your ship instead of a sailor tossed by the waves. The Stoics knew this secret. Focus isn't just about doing, it's about being, fully and purposefully, in every moment you live. Try it, and see how it shifts your world. Taming your inner storm. Let's dive into those moments when your emotions turn into a runaway train, barreling through your calm like a wrecking ball. Ever snapped at a loved one over something tiny, like a misplaced coffee mug, or found yourself staring at the ceiling at 3 a.m., your mind racing with worries about things you can't change, like a deadline you missed or a comment you can't unhear? We've all been there, caught in the grip of feelings that seem to take over. Seneca, that ancient Stoic sage, dropped a truth bomb that cuts right to the core. An undisciplined mind is the root of our deepest torments. But here's the good news. Stoicism hands us a game plan, not to bury those emotions or pretend they don't exist, but to understand them, guide them, and take back the wheel. It's like stepping into the captain's seat of your own ship, steering through the wildest waves instead of letting them toss you wherever they please. Epictetus, another Stoic legend who rose from slavery to wisdom, put it perfectly. You're not free unless you master yourself. It all starts with noticing what sets you off, your triggers. Maybe a rude comment from a coworker lights a fire in your chest, or a looming deadline sends your heart into a frantic sprint. Recognizing those sparks is the first step to dousing the flames. Once you see the patterns, you can pause, step back, and think instead of just reacting on instinct. Aristotle, though not a Stoic, had a similar vibe with his golden mean idea. Finding that sweet spot between overreacting with a shouting match and shutting down completely, bottling it all up. Picture this, you're passed over for a raise you were banking on, and your gut screams, "This is so unfair." Instead of storming into your boss's office or venting to anyone who'll listen, you take a beat. You breathe, ask yourself why this happened, and map out a plan. Maybe it's time to have a calm chat about your performance or look for a new opportunity. That Stoic wisdom at work, turning a gut punch into a chance to grow stronger, wiser, better. Marcus Aurelius, the emperor who faced wars and betrayal yet stayed grounded, added another layer to this. You've got power over your mind, not the chaos around you. It's all about shifting your focus from what's happening, the stuff you can't control, to how you handle it, the part you can. Imagine a brutal day, traffic's a nightmare, your inbox is a war zone, and your kid just spilled juice on your laptop. Instead of losing it, you pause, take a deep breath, and reflect. You choose a response that keeps you steady. Maybe a quiet moment to reset, then tackling one mess at a time. This inner dialogue, this mental back and forth, builds real muscle, aligning your actions with what truly matters, your values, your long-term goals, the life you want to live. It's not about dodging the pain or pretending you're a robot. It's about carving a path through the storm to a life that feels solid, authentic, and true. So next time your emotions start to flare, whether it's anger, fear, or frustration, give this a shot. Pause, think, then respond with intention. You'll be amazed at the strength you uncover, the kind that lets you stand firm no matter how hard the winds blow. Preparing for life's curveballs. Life loves throwing surprises our way, and let's be honest, not all of them come wrapped with a bow. One minute you're cruising along, and the next, you're hit with a curveball that knocks the wind out of you. Maybe a job loss that blindsides you, a sudden health scare that shakes your world, or a relationship that unravels when you least expect it. It's the kind of chaos that can leave you reeling, wondering how to pick up the pieces. But Seneca, that brilliant Stoic philosopher from ancient times, had a wild suggestion that might sound crazy at first. Picture the worst before it even happens. Exile, war, shipwreck, the full spectrum of human hardship. Sounds intense, doesn't it? Like something out of a dramatic movie. But here's the twist. It's not about scaring yourself into a panic or living in dread. It's about getting ready, building a mental shield to face whatever comes. This Stoic trick, called premeditatio malorum, is like forging mental armor, a way to rehearse tough scenarios so that when life throws its punches, you're not caught off guard, staggering in shock. Think of it like an athlete training in the pouring rain for a championship game, drenched, exhausted, but prepared to shine when the real test arrives. For the Stoics, preparedness wasn't just a strategy. It was the heartbeat of resilience, a way to stay poised when others crumble under pressure. So, how does this work in real life? Let's break it down. Say you're lying awake at night, your mind spinning with worry about losing your job. Maybe the company's been shaky, or you've heard whispers of layoffs. Instead of letting that fear spiral into a sleepless nightmare, try this. Close your eyes and imagine it happening. Picture the moment you get the news, the empty desk, the quiet drive home. It might feel heavy, but don't stop there. Shift gears. Now plan your next move. Update that dusty resume, brush up on skills with an online course, or start scouting new paths, maybe even a side hustle you've been curious about. When the axe finally falls, if it does, you're not frozen in panic, staring blankly at a pink slip. You're ready to pivot, to turn the page with a clear head and a strategy in hand. That's the genius of Seneca's approach. By imagining the worst, you strip away its power to shock. Suddenly, today's traffic jam or a missed deadline feels like a minor blip compared to the storms you've already pictured. It's not about living in fear or expecting doom around every corner. It's about building a mindset that whispers, "I've got this," no matter what hits. This practice flips you from reactive, jumping at every surprise, to responsive, like a seasoned captain navigating stormy seas with a steady hand and a sharp eye on the horizon. But this readiness isn't just for personal blows. It stretches across every corner of life. Imagine a financial dip that empties your savings, or a loved one's illness that turns your world upside down. These are the heavy hitters, the moments that test your core. With premeditatio malorum, you've already walked through those dark valleys in your mind. You've pictured the budget cuts, the hospital visits, and planned your response. Maybe cutting back on expenses, researching support options, or leaning on a friend for strength. When reality strikes, you're not starting from zero. You're equipped, moving with purpose. This preparation speeds up your bounce back, turning setbacks into setups for a comeback. The Stoics saw this as resilience in action, a quiet strength that keeps you standing when others might fall. It's like having a secret weapon, a mental toolkit that lets you face the unexpected with a calm that surprises even yourself. Let's take it further. This isn't a one-time exercise. It's a habit that grows with you. Spend 5 minutes tonight picturing a challenge. Maybe that job loss, a car breaking down, or a family argument brewing. Don't just see the problem. Map out your plan. Who can you call for help? What skills can you sharpen? How can you adapt? As you do this, notice how your shoulders relax, how the weight lifts just a bit. You'll feel lighter, stronger, like you've tucked a secret weapon into your back pocket to pull out when life's chaos comes knocking. The Stoics believed this mental rehearsal wasn't about inviting trouble. It was about taming it, making the unknown feel less like a monster and more like a puzzle you can solve. And here's the beauty. It's not just about surviving the big hits. This practice reshapes how you handle the everyday grind. That frustrating coworker who pushes your buttons? You've already imagined worse, so their snark feels like a breeze. A project that's behind schedule? You've pictured tighter deadlines, so you roll up your sleeves with focus. It's a shift in perspective, a way to keep your cool when the world feels like it's spinning off its axis. The Stoics, like Marcus Aurelius facing invasions or Epictetus enduring slavery, lived this daily, turning mental preparation into a shield that let them lead with grace. You can do the same. Start small, pick one worry, rehearse it, plan for it. Over time, you'll build a resilience that doesn't just weather storms but thrives in them. This Stoic approach also deepens your appreciation for the present. When you've imagined exile or shipwreck, a quiet evening with family or a smooth workday feels like a gift. It's not about gloom, it's about gratitude, a reminder that you're tougher than you think. Try this tonight. Set aside those 5 minutes, let your mind wander to a "what if," and build your plan. You might be surprised at how empowered you feel, how ready you are to face tomorrow. The Stoics knew that life's unpredictability is inevitable, but your response? That's yours to shape. With premeditatio malorum, you're not just preparing, you're mastering the art of living, one challenge at a time. Embracing the tough stuff. Here's a Stoic twist that might make you do a double take. What if the key to a stronger, more resilient you isn't avoiding hardship, but seeking it out on purpose? Seneca, that sharp-minded philosopher from ancient Rome, laid it out plain and simple. Difficulties toughen the mind the way exercise builds the body. Now, hold on, this isn't about turning into a masochist who loves pain for its own sake. It's about growth, about taking control of your journey by leaning into challenges instead of dodging them. Picture an athlete sweating it out in the scorching heat, muscles burning, or a climber gripping a jagged peak with every ounce of strength, wind howling around them. They're not there for the misery, they're preparing to conquer, to rise above when the real test comes. Stoicism invites us to adopt that same mindset, stepping boldly into discomfort to stretch our limits and discover what we're truly capable of. Let's bring this home with some real-life examples. Take public speaking. Does the thought of standing in front of a crowd make your palms sweat and your voice tremble? Start small, like sharing an idea during a team meeting or volunteering a comment in a class. The first time might feel like walking a tightrope over a canyon, but each step gets steadier. Over time, that fear transforms into a skill, a confidence that lets you command a room without breaking a sweat. Or consider a different challenge. Try living simply for a week. Ditch the takeout orders, skip the impulse buys, and cook at home with what you've got. It's tough, those cravings for a quick pizza hit hard, but as the days pass, you'll feel a quiet pride bubbling up, a resilience you didn't know was hiding inside you. This isn't about chasing pain or punishing yourself, it's about resetting what comfort means. The Stoics believed that true peace doesn't come from a cushy, easy life, it comes from knowing deep down that you can handle the hard stuff. And when you realize that, those everyday joys, like a warm meal or a lazy Sunday, taste even sweeter, like a reward you've truly earned. This practice does more than just build grit, it fuels self-confidence that sticks with you. Every challenge you face head-on, every time you push through the discomfort, proves you're stronger than you ever imagined. It's like forging steel in a blazing fire. Each trial hammers out a tougher, more durable you. Seneca would grin at this, saying it's about turning life struggles into your personal gym, where every rep, every tough moment, shapes a better version of yourself. Whether it's tackling a daunting project at work, having a tough conversation you've been avoiding, or even waking up early to exercise when you'd rather hit snooze, each choice to take the harder path builds that inner steel. It's not just about surviving, it's about thriving, finding a thrill in the growth that comes from effort. So, next time you're at a crossroads, pick the harder path. Maybe it's signing up for that public speaking workshop you've been eyeing, or committing to a month of budget cuts to save for a goal. You might stumble at first, your nerves jangling or your wallet groaning, but stick with it. You'll surprise yourself with how much you grow, how that shaky voice steadies, how that pride swells, and how much you start to enjoy the ride. The Stoics saw this as a way to live boldly, to turn life's inevitable challenges into your training ground. Give it a try, and watch how it reshapes not just what you can do, but who you become. Rewriting your story. Let's talk about a trap we've all fallen into at some point. That moment after a setback when your mind whispers, "Why me?" Maybe you've been there. Your boss overlooks you for a promotion you've been gunning for, or a friend lets you down when you needed them most. It's like a gut punch, and your first instinct is to slump into victim mode, thinking, "This isn't fair. Why does this always happen to me?" But Seneca, that ancient Stoic philosopher with a knack for cutting through the noise, had a sharp insight that flips this on its head. We suffer more in our heads than we do in reality. The real pain isn't the event itself, it's how we choose to see it, how we let our thoughts spin a story that keeps us stuck. Stoicism steps in with a bold challenge. Ditch the victim mindset, grab the reins of your narrative, and rewrite your story with strength and purpose. Let's break this down with a real-world scenario. Imagine you've been working late nights for months, pouring your heart into your job, expecting that promotion to be your big win. But when the announcement comes, your name isn't on the list. That initial sting hits hard, and your mind races. This is so unfair. I deserved this. It's easy to spiral into self-pity, to feel like the world's against you. But what if you hit pause on that story and tried a different lens? What if, instead of seeing this as a dead-end injustice, you saw it as a nudge, a push to learn, to grow, or to find a path that fits you even better? Maybe it's a chance to ask for feedback, sharpen your skills, or even explore a new career that lights you up more than this one ever could. That's the Stoic way, shifting from "why me" to "what can I take from this?" It's a small question, but it's a game changer, turning a blow into a stepping stone towards something greater. This mindset works for any setback life throws your way. Going through a tough breakup that leaves your heart in pieces? Instead of wallowing in "I'll never find love again," see it as a doorway to rediscover yourself, your passions, your dreams, the things that make you you. A project you poured weeks into fails spectacularly? Don't label it a disaster. Call it a masterclass in what works and what doesn't, a lesson to carry into your next win. The Stoics, like Marcus Aurelius, hammered this home. We can't control the chaos around us, the missed promotions, the heartbreak, the failures, but we can control our perceptions, our responses. Marcus would say focus on how you handle the hit, not the hit itself. This shift frees you from the quicksand of self-pity, lifting you into a space where you approach life with purpose, resilience, and a quiet strength that nothing can shake. And here's where it gets even better. This reframing doesn't just change how you see yourself, it transforms how you connect with others. When you stop playing the victim, you stop pointing fingers, and that opens the door to deeper, more authentic relationships. You start connecting from a place of respect, not blame. You see the struggles others are carrying too, and that builds empathy, a bridge of understanding that makes your bond stronger. Imagine sitting down with a friend after that missed promotion, not to vent about how unfair life is, but to share what you've learned and hear their own stories of growth. That's the Stoic ripple effect, creating connections that lift everyone up. So, next time life stings, whether it's a small frustration or a big loss, try this: pause, reframe, and act. Take a deep breath, ask what you can learn, and move forward with intention. You'll feel lighter, more in charge, like the author of your own epic tale, penning a story where every chapter makes you stronger. The Stoics knew this secret. You're not a victim of your circumstances. You're the storyteller, and the next page is yours to write. Finding peace in solitude. In today's hyper-connected world, where our phones buzz like relentless alarm clocks and every screen demands our attention, silence feels like a rare gem, something we've almost forgotten how to treasure. But Seneca, that wise Stoic philosopher from ancient times, offered a piece of advice that cuts through the noise: retire into yourself. Now, don't get it twisted. This isn't about hiding from the world, locking yourself away like a hermit in a cave. It's about carving out a quiet space inside your own mind, a sacred retreat where you can pause, reflect, and reconnect with who you really are. Marcus Aurelius, the Stoic emperor who ruled through chaos and wrote his thoughts by candlelight, took it further, calling the soul a sanctuary, a haven where you can grow, heal, and find strength away from life's endless clamor. For the Stoics, solitude isn't just a break. It's a powerful tool to tune into your true self, a way to sift through the chaos and rediscover your core values when the world feels like it's shouting over you. So, how do you make this work in your everyday life? It's simpler than you might think. Set aside some time to be alone. Maybe a peaceful morning walk where the only sound is your footsteps on the path, or a quiet journal session with a cup of coffee as your companion. Let your thoughts settle like leaves floating to the bottom of a still pond. This isn't about feeling lonely or isolated. It's rich, deep, and full of potential, giving you room to breathe and align with what truly matters to you: your dreams, your principles, the person you want to become. Aristotle, that giant of ancient thought, would nod along, linking self-knowledge to a flourishing life, the kind where you thrive because you understand yourself. Epictetus, the former slave turned Stoic teacher, saw it as mental armor, a way to fortify your spirit for the tough times that life inevitably brings. When you step back into the world after this solitude, you don't return empty. You come back with more patience, a sharper clarity, and a deeper empathy that enriches your connections with others, turning every interaction into a chance to build something meaningful. Let's paint a picture. Imagine starting your day with 10 minutes of silence, maybe sitting by a window as the sun rises, letting your mind wander without judgment. No phone, no to-do list, just you and your thoughts. At first, it might feel awkward, like sitting with a stranger, but soon you'll notice a shift. Your focus sharpens, like a lens coming into focus on a camera, cutting through the mental fog. Your heart steadies, beating with a calm rhythm instead of racing to keep up with the day's demands. This is Stoic wisdom in action, turning what might feel like alone time into a launchpad for a fuller, richer life. It's a reset button, a way to recharge so you can face the world with a steadier hand and a clearer mind. Try weaving this into your routine, a daily quiet moment, even if it's just 5 minutes before bed or during a lunch break. Notice how it changes you. Maybe you catch yourself reacting less to a coworker's snarky comment, or you find the patience to listen to a friend's long story without checking your watch. That's the magic of solitude. It builds an inner strength that spills over into everything you do. The Stoics knew this wasn't about escaping life. It was about diving deeper into it, using those quiet moments to align your actions with your values. After a week of this practice, you might feel a quiet pride, a sense that you're growing into the best version of yourself. So, give it a shot. Pick a time today, maybe tonight after the kids are asleep or before the morning rush, and sit with yourself. Let the silence wrap around you like a warm blanket. Watch how it steadies your heart, clears your mind, and sets you up to connect with others in a way that feels more real, more human. The Stoics saw solitude as a gift, a way to build resilience and wisdom that carries you through life's storms. It's not just a break, it's a transformation, and it starts with you right now. Your Stoic journey begins. We've embarked on an incredible journey together, walking through the timeless gifts of Stoicism, those powerful principles that can transform the way you live, think, and feel. We've unpacked the art of laser-sharp focus, the strength of self-control, the wisdom of preparing for life's curveballs, the grit of resilience, the magic of reframing your story, and the peace that comes from solitude. These aren't just ancient ideas gathering dust on a philosopher's shelf. They're living, breathing tools designed to help you thrive in the chaos of today's world. Stoicism doesn't hand you a fairy tale promise of a smooth, easy ride. No philosophy can do that. Instead, it offers something far more valuable: the wheel to steer your ship through life's wildest storms, guiding you with courage, clarity, and a deep, unshakable peace that nothing can rattle. Let's take a moment to reflect on the giants who inspired these lessons. Philosophers who didn't just talk the talk, but walked the walk through some of history's toughest moments. Think of Seneca, facing exile with a steady heart, writing letters of wisdom even as his world crumbled around him. Or Marcus Aurelius, leading a war-torn Roman Empire, scribbling his reflections in a tent while battles raged, finding calm amidst the chaos. Then there's Epictetus, a man who rose from the chains of slavery to become a beacon of Stoic thought, teaching that true freedom comes from mastering your own mind. These weren't men living in ivory towers. They were in the thick of life's mess, just like you and me. Yet they found strength, purpose, and serenity in these very practices we've explored today. If they could do it, if they could face exile, war, and oppression with such grace, then so can you. Their lives are proof that Stoicism isn't just theory. It's a lifeline, a way to rise above whatever challenges you're facing right now. So, where do you start? The beauty of Stoicism is that it meets you exactly where you are. You don't need to be a philosopher or meditate on a mountaintop to make this work. Start small, with steps so simple they fit into your everyday life. Tomorrow morning, pick one task, maybe writing an email or cooking breakfast, and give it your full focus, silencing distractions like a Stoic warrior blocking out the noise of battle. When emotions flare, say, a coworker's comment rubs you the wrong way, pause, take a breath, and respond with intention, not impulse, just as Epictetus would. Spend a few minutes picturing a challenge, like a financial hiccup, and plan your response, channeling Seneca's premeditatio malorum to strip fear of its power. Embrace a hard choice, skip the easy takeout and cook a meal from scratch, or tackle a task you've been avoiding, and feel your resilience grow, as Seneca knew it would. Reframe a setback, maybe a missed opportunity at work, by asking, "What can I learn?" instead of, "Why me?" And carve out a quiet moment, even just 5 minutes before bed, to sit in solitude, letting your thoughts settle like Marcus Aurelius in his quiet tent, finding clarity in the stillness. Each of these steps, small as they seem, is a brick in the foundation of a life built on purpose, strength, and resilience, a life that doesn't just survive the storms, but dances through them. This journey isn't a one-and-done deal. It's a path you walk every day, with every choice you make. And here's the exciting part. This is your story now. You're the one holding the pen, writing the next chapter with every Stoic principle you embrace. I'd love to hear how this resonates with you. Drop a comment below and share your thoughts. Did one tip strike a chord? Maybe the idea of reframing setbacks or finding peace in solitude. How are you going to weave Stoicism into your life today? Maybe by focusing on one task or pausing before you react. Let's keep this journey alive, building a community of growth and wisdom right here in the comments. Your story might just inspire someone else to take their first step, and that's the kind of ripple effect the Stoics would be proud of. Before we part ways, Let's make sure you're set to keep growing. Hit that subscribe button to join the Stoic Journal community. It's a free way to stay connected and keep this wisdom flowing into your life. And don't miss the videos on your screen right now. They're packed with more insights to help you dive deeper into Stoicism's practical magic, from mastering your morning routine to handling stress like a Stoic pro. Thank you for walking this path with me today. It means the world to have you here. You're not just watching a video. You're growing, evolving, becoming a stronger, wiser version of yourself with every moment you invest in this journey. Let's keep striving, one Stoic step at a time, building a life that's not just lived, but mastered. Until next time, keep walking bravely, keep seeking wisdom, and let Stoicism light your way through whatever lies ahead.